welcome to a new Harry's Garage, and this one's going to be a bit different because I'm going off to Morocco again, and this time not in a Ferrari Testarossa but on some of my Paris-Dakar bikes. As you probably know, there's a video I did just over a year ago of my collection of the Paris-Dakar bikes, a customer version of the bikes that won Paris-Dakar back in its heyday, 79 to 98. I always find these are amazing bikes. I love the way they're in sort of works colours and the story behind the Paris-Dakar. I was fairly addicted to it during the early 80s, just watching this extraordinary event take place. And on the bucket list was always to do one of the sections of the Paris-Dakar race out in Morocco. I love Morocco. I love the huge vistas you get with it when you're in the desert and the dunes. It's just so spectacular. But what's it like actually riding on those sort of trails? So a few months ago I got in contact with Patsy Quick, Desert Rose Racing, and they organised trips out there. Patsy Quick is a bit of a legend in the sport. She actually did Paris-Dakar, I think 4 times, finished it once, and she's the only UK female rider to get to the full finish of the Paris-Dakar. She's organised a trip. She's going to take me on a section of Paris-Dakar. And then we had to decide which bikes to take, and we're taking 2 new Africa Twins. I've got the new Sports Adventure there. I got it at the beginning of the year. Love the looks. I love the way it's more protected. It's bigger, but it's a chunky bike to take on some of the trails. Friend's joining me on his new Africa Twin, and then my son Charlie is going to be on the original Africa Twin, the RDO3. Another friend's joined me on the Super Tenere, and I thought I had to take my Kajiva 900IE. I've just bought this. It's super homologation, special fuel injection, super high revving. So that's the background. Next time you'll see us, we'll be in Morocco at the start of this adventure. Well, morning, here we are. We arrived in Erfoud last night, 2 a.m. we got to this hotel. We just spent the morning unpacking stuff, trying to get going, but this is the start of this sort of trip to Paris-Dakar, old routes in Morocco on my Dakar collection bikes. Can't wait to get going. It's funny, this is actually the area we came in with a Ferrari Testarossa in 2015, and it's lovely to revisit it again. Fortunately, the weather's turned a bit British on us, and it was absolutely howling thunderstorm last night, lightning, etc. Quite wet, so we're going to see what the desert is like. Can't wait to get going. We're being guided by Clive Town, who's better known as Zippy of Desert Rose. He did Dakar proper in 2004, 2005, 2006. Couldn't wish for a better guide. Lives out here, knows all the tracks. He's going to be guiding us, showing us some of the routes. And this first route we're going to do down to the Mazuka we're going to end up in the dunes, is really part of where the Paris-Dakar proper used to get going back in the day. Let's get going. Here we are, leaving. Look at it, looks a bit grim. Hoping for a bit more scenic views. That's rain over there, isn't it? Oh my lord. Didn't expect that at all. Cash in Morocco, you never know where you're going to get stopped for speeding, or lots of hotels and places to eat won't only take cash. So if you see one of those, stop and get some cash. Are we alright? Yeah, we're alright. I think we're away. Off we go. Lord knows where. Oh, we're turning right. Here we go. I think it's where we head into the desert. Fortunately, it looks like that rain is heading our way, which I don't really want. It just is a wild place. But you have to keep your eyes open. There's the baker. Back of an old VW Golf. Looks like the town is about to end. Head that way. Side saddle. Why do they ride side saddle? There's been a lot of rain here, but it hasn't filled up the rivers yet. I suppose it has to take time to come down the mountains. And there's a hell of a breeze. Fun. I want the sun to come out. Looks like the start of the desert. shame, it's wet. Don't like mud. Amazing, this open space though. Sort of why you come out to Morocco. It's the head where the mystery is. Right in front of you is history. So always look ahead was the instructions. Just mad to think, Zippy was telling me when he did this in Paris-Dakar Day, 2005, 2006, you get to Erfoud, you leave your camp in the morning in the blackness, and this is as part of the special stage where you're going flat out, and yeah, it was 450 kilometres of this, and 100 odd kilometres either side, so you got up in the morning knowing you were going to ride 600 kilometres off-road like this, as fast as you could. Yeah, not like this, when we're just mucking about, we're just revisiting the tracks at the moment, but after all this rain, this is, yeah, slipperier than I expected. I will follow my leader, so he knows where we're going. New Africa Twins, the big surprise is it's a bloody great bike, but it's one of those bikes that feels very natural on the pegs. It's just, everything's in the right position, with the bars and the yeah, you can just steer it with knees either side of the tank and just nudge it this way and that, and the weight disappears. The weight reappears as soon as you stop, and you just got to make sure you stop on level ground. And the other thing it can do is fantastic suspension travel. So big gullies and bumps here. There's a stone from nowhere. That's what you've got to watch. I think the rain is holding off. Might be famous last words. Let's see. Cut a corner. Tiff Nadell wouldn't like that. Must be amazing to know where all these tracks lead. As I say, Zippy's been out here years and knows every track. Oh, oh sh**. Huh. Oh sh**. Sorry? Yeah. Oh, he's going to walk that, isn't he? Hit a slight snag, and that all the floodwater is now coming down from that thunderstorm last night, and we're facing with this, which is quite a deep crossing. Oh dear. Not too bad, but yeah, I didn't expect water to be the problem on this trip, but there you go, it's those thunderstorms from last night. Yeah, sure it'd be alright. River crossing here, and it's a bit bigger and angrier than we hoped, so having a bit of a think. What do we do? Not a lot of bridges around here. Civilization, we are truly miles from anywhere. He's just asking, I think, where the crossing might be. What a place to live. No electricity, a few cans of fuel. Quite remarkable. Oh, they're the goats. That's what they're looking after. Where is Zippy taking us now? Oh, looks nice. Proper off-piste now. When it's coming over the windscreen like that, that is deep. My gloves aren't waterproof. What a surprise. This is soft mud. There we are. I think he's off for a recce. Wow. Wow. That was deep. Yeah, that came over the windscreen for me. It's just got too big. So we're having to head back. And we're going to make a bit of time up, so we're just using a little bit more speed because we know we can pass up here, having just come along it. Amazing what these bikes can do. It's just the suspension eats it up. Just making sure you don't get knocked off by a rock or something. And just as ever, in the middle of nowhere. Don't think we're going up there. We're going over there. It's what desert is like. You sort of think it's going to be sandy, but most of the desert I've visited is like this. Although we are going to do sand this afternoon, which I think, yeah, I've got trepidation for that bit. On an open piste again, just odd patches of sand to watch, but yeah, much easier than what we've been through. What we're doing around 60 mile an hour across this. Race speed, I don't know, they'd be up over 100 I suppose. Feels quite quick at 60. It's just the unexpected, you're always waiting to see what's around the corner. I can just see there's a bit of soft here. Down again in case I have to accelerate. Back on the power. There you go, there goes the front. And that's what you're looking out for, really. Just always have a bit of power in reserve so you can power out. As you come off the throttle, you're basically putting the front brake on. And in sand, you just go deeper. Civilized is this? The Desert Inn. Chez Michel. Just stopped for lunch. Omelettes. Always order an omelette in Morocco. Works really well. I can't believe all that water. Zippy was just saying that the water we come across today is the second worst he's known, and he's been out here since 2005. So that was pretty bad, unfortunately. So we had to really change the routes, and it's changed the route what we're going to do today. But what I love about Morocco is you do find these sort of little oases. There's great restaurants. It's going to be just have an omelette. You can't have a beer. We wouldn't have beers on bikes anyway. So it's Coke is the order of the day. They don't really do alcohol out here. And we're on now to Mazuka and down to the sand dunes, which is going to be a bit of a giggle or a nightmare with these heavy bikes. Let's go and find out. Just watching out for the rocks. Just imagine this being a stage of the Dakar now. And we're finally getting the first sight of the dunes. Way over in the distance. Just amazing bit of space. thought that was tarmac, but no, it's water. The dunes. I think I prefer this sort of stuff. A little jump from nowhere. God knows what speed we're doing. Yeah, just 70. It just feels like 150. There's our leader, follow him all the way. Zippy knows he's heading to a tree. He's always pees under some tree out here for sort of good luck. But yeah, on the KTM 990, definitely the quickest man here. There's John on the standard Africa Twin. He used to race bikes, and so he takes a bit of keeping up with as well. And there's Charlie on the 88 Africa Twin, which he just loves, but never actually cleans, so it's as scruffy as hell. And behind us, there should be one more. James on, there it is, the Super 10, which it's doing a great job actually. Quick, it sounds like a two-stroke. Suddenly hear it sort of come on cam and come behind you. Has a very distinctive note. But yeah, I've never ridden it before here, so he's doing an amazing job. Because it's been pretty tough. If you've never ridden a bike, like a big bike like this before in the desert, looks ace. And there we go. We head off, trying to find Zippy's tree. Bloody water. It's getting a bit boring now. He's hesitating at this one. I don't know why. Tracks you really want to follow. Just got to keep going somehow. It's over here. Pure mud. Oh shit. Has he come off? Oh shit. He hasn't got through. Where are the other ones? There's James. Oh, and we're all over. Oh dear.
Right.
There we go.
Well, there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
And this is why
It is weird, isn't it?
On these sort of adventure bikes, we've got loads of. They call them crash bars.
Yeah.
They call them grabber bars. Extraction bars. I don't know if drive's going to help at the moment.
Right. No, that isn't going to move, is it?
It will.
Is it?
I was trying to get what the best purchases.
It's so.
If we pick the back over towards me, lift it up and over towards me first. Ready? You're towards you. Pick up towards me. That's it. Now we've got a firm bit of ground. Ish. And again? Yeah. That's it. Now I'm going to try a bit of drive. Yeah. Okay, then come and pull. So we're going to try and bring the front.
Right, it's coming down here.
Captain Mandarin.
I've got rather wet feet now. I'm using my lovely dry boots.
Good Lord. Well, that shows you how quickly you can get a bike stuck out here, and it was also the lesson you never ride on your own out here, otherwise that bike would have been history. Anyway, back to the sand dunes. Boring now. Ooh, that's deep. front went, but you have to keep going. Oh, thank goodness I kept the throttle in. So you're coming across. Whoa! That was deep. That was deep. Back and beyond. Down here, we're behind the dunes, and Erg is a sort of patch of, well, I can't call it a patch, an area of sand, and we're the other side of the dunes. And over that side is the Algerian. What on that ridge there is the Algerian border, and there's mines between us and there, and if you went over there, I've just been informed, I'd be shot at. So we're sticking down here, and somehow I think we have to cross that river again. There it is, and he's never seen water like that down here before. That's going to be tricky. It is. So I hope to God we don't have to actually go into the dunes. He's saying there's a strip of tarmac out here and then we're back to the hotel. What he didn't say is whether we're over the dunes to get to the tarmac, promised tarmac. Slippy, slidey. Trying to steer at my feet if I can. When in doubt, give it a bit of throttle. Wowee. I'd like to think that river has disappeared and we're heading up and we won't see and do another river crossing. That would be good. This is a bit more like I expect the Sahara to be. A bit of dust, rocks. He's going slow again. Why is he going so slow? Because there's sand, that's why. Oh, this is just like Pyrenees, so this is a bit more like it. Try a different gear. Wowee. Wowee. Holy sugar. Look at that. I think this is a viewing post, isn't it? Wowee. And there you are. There is the Sahara Desert. Holy sugar. Huh. That's a lot of water. So you're saying it's not normally water down there?
I've never, ever, ever
Never seen water down there?
Never seen water before in my life.
God.
There's a track here.
Good Lord.
Never seen it like this.
Right. Now that's going to be interesting. It's not a real way of turning back. So is that someone's house? Good Lord. That was a lot of rain last night.
Oh, ballet.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
There's not normally any water here, and you look at it now. Oh God. I'm paddling in through this sand because it's hard work on a bike like this, and John's doing it. It takes a lot of power. Gives them a hard time. It's super soft. We'll get through, we will get through. I like to do it a bit more elegantly than this, but bike does not want to go over there. Oh, the old bikes are alright. The trouble with this thing, it's so tall. A bastard. Come on. I'm having a lot of luck here. We have to go about 5 kilometres in this direction before there might be a crossing. But we're sort of struggling in the dunes with the big bikes and the lights going. Apart from that, oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm doing a lot of inelegant paddling while Charlie cruises through the dunes. Oh, nearly had enough. You gotta hit them straight on. Basically, this bike is too tall and too heavy, and it makes crossing this sort of thing tricky. Yeah, well, morning. This is day 2 of this Paris-Dakar sort of revisit with my Dakar bikes. Yesterday we went on the really quick sections down from our food. We're right next to the dunes now. And yesterday was wetter than we all expected. Zippy was guiding us through, and he hadn't seen water in some of the places we saw water. We saw the most enormous river from nowhere, just stopped us getting across the dunes. We had to do about a 20-kilometre detour to get round it and come back to this hotel, which is Auberge Café de Sud, a lovely place right next to the dunes. I'm just behind the camera. I can see some more KTMs being prepped. This is an epicentre of this desert craziness if you're out on bikes and quads, etc., because it's just over there where the dunes are. So today is all about sand. We're heading up into the dunes. I've never ridden on dunes before, so I'm very glad Zippy is going to guide us through, because you can make a complete plonk of yourself very easily. And I'm actually going to swap to the Cagiva. I was on the new Africa Twin Sport Adventure yesterday. It's a big bike, and I started the struggle in the sand where we hit some sand yesterday. So I'm swapping to Cagiva. Never ridden it really off-road at all since it arrived, so this is in at the deep end, but it strikes me it's 60-70 kilos lighter than the modern bikes, and this story is all about reliving those glory years of Paris-Dakar from the 80s and early 90s, so it seems right to do that. And Zippy's going to disappear in the distance because he's decided to bring along an actually factory Dakar bike, so the 28,000 pound factory replica full works bike. In effect, if you're a privateer, this is what you'd enter Paris-Dakar on. It's a 450 single. It has every trick known to man to make it quick and fast across these conditions. So I think us on our antique bikes are going to struggle here, but let's see what happens when we get out there. Here we go. New bike as well. Don't know what to expect, don't know what this bike's going to be like. It's not how you normally find out about a new bike. Just keep the power on. Keep the power on. Oh, that was easy. I mustn't say that.
Charlie tried to go across, and that apparently is what happens. Here comes James, puts the power down. Oh, nearly. Well, that was amazing how this got up there. I'm chuffed for that. I don't know if a side stand works up here. We're off again, following Zippy, 3-time Paris-Dakar racer, on a works bike on my 1991 Kajiva. God, you have to use some power. You have to use some power to get along. Can't get over the horsepower I'm having to use. Just follow him. Pretend you can do this, Metcalf. It's just like riding on ice. I can't. And when you get into difficulty, try and add power. Wow, you just come to a stop. Amazing. Yeah.
Look down the corner, and you come back on your back.
Okay.
Use it like a wall of death. Go around there, speed.
Okay.
I've got it, Charlie. Go on, go on.
Holy mother. Holy mother. We seem to be doing this. As he said, it's better with momentum. We're riding the dunes of the Sahara on a Kajiva elephant. I can't believe it. I cannot believe what I'm doing. Unbelievable. Add power. Unbelievable. Well, we're taking a bit of a breather. I thought it might be interesting to get Zippy to give us a tour around his modern Dakar bike. Bits that are different to ours. So we're looking at this thing. What I notice are the tanks.
Yep.
Number of fillers, 3 fillers on it, isn't there?
3 fillers on here. We have 1 rear tank
Yeah.
and 2 forward tanks. There's a pump in the back rear tank, and there's a pump in one side of the tanks on the front. We have a switch up here, so we can switch between the tanks.
Right.
And what a lot of the lads like to do is they like to come into a dune field with fuel on the back to keep the weight on the back.
Right, so you keep that tank full.
Keep it full, so they would switch over during the daytime to where they want the fuel.
And the engine on this, we ought to just say the engine 450 cc single. That's regulations, isn't it?
That's regulations for the Dakar rally.
Oh, just Dakar.
Dakar rally. Any other rally you can run with what you want.
Oh, right. Okay.
If you're man enough to hold on to it.
Right.
But this bike is designed these days to basically do the job for most rallies.
Okay, and they're around, what we're going to say 70 horsepower, aren't we? For something like
around
this?
70 horsepower.
Because it's durability, it's not high revving, it's all grunt, isn't it? And I guess
It's all grunt. I mean, the new one now is a fantastic bike, and it's more user friendly all the way through the rev range. It picks up from the bottom. I've had reports back from some of the lads who've got on in the dunes. They're more like an enduro bike to handle at the crest. The crest of the dunes is the most difficult part of the dunes. It's got a nice long beam on the bike to get for stability across the piece.
Okay.
So we don't get too much head shake and shaking the bike.
It's been big pegs as well, isn't it?
Big pegs, yeah. You're standing up all day long, your feet go for a bit of punishment.
Carbon fibre sump guard on it. See. Yeah.
And then we had in the bottom there, we have 3 litres of water down in here, which is mandatory.
Right. Oh, that's drinking water.
Yeah, so that's mandatory.
Oh, right.
So basically, that would be there to take on the water which every rider needs to have.
Right. Special thing. It's amazing that, I think the price of 27,000 is quite affordable for a works bike. An actual, this is the king off-road bike to do Dakar. It's pretty amazing.
This is the rally replica, so this is what the top boys won't be getting this one. They'll be getting the special one.
They'll get one.
They
next
get one
up.
which is a few little trick bits inside,
Right.
which we don't really know about, or won't ever know about.
And the weight of this bike is?
Weight of this bike, well, it depends really on fuel.
Oh yeah, so drive fuel then.
Drive fuel is about 140.
Right, and then about 170.
Yeah, 170.
Yeah, full up. Yeah.
What the mechanics need to do also is out in the rallies, they need to be looking after their bikes.
Yeah.
And what they've done now is, I think Husqvarna and KTM have learned off what the mechanics, the riders, are coming back with, and some mechanics to make it easier for the rider if anything does go wrong on the bike. So what we have on the new one, we have a little catch underneath here, with a little tug, and then off comes the seat. It's quick and easy. So.
Wow.
So underneath here is the important bits to keep the bike running in the front here with all the fuses. So now they put all the fuses in the front here for all the auxiliaries, the EFI, the main starter, batteries in there, nicely protected, air filter to keep it nicely protected.
Yeah.
And then we have here, which is very neat on the new Husqvarna, the toolbox for your tools.
And we were talking last night about 120,000 to do Dakar, isn't it? To enter the Dakar.
I would say
training.
these days, if you wanted to do it with the training, with the bike, everything, I would say you would need comfortably. To do it comfortably, you would need about 120,000.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do your own spanner in and work as a male motor, you could do it for much cheaper.
That's a class, isn't there? There's a class for your own spannering.
For your own spanning.
What's it called?
Male motor.
Male motor, yeah.
And that's where you have to look after your bike every evening.
Fact.
But that would be that price, 120. That would be your training. Maybe going out to Dubai, out to here. You have to do qualifying rallies.
Qualifying events, yeah.
So you have to do 2 or 3 qualifying rallies. Make a portfolio up so when you enter Dakar, they know you're serious rather than just somebody who wants to have a quick couple of days riding.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks, Zippy. That's great.
Right.
Look round that. Spectacular bit of kit. Now I'm going to get on my antique, which did rather well actually. So I'm not going to say anything rude about it. Okay, well that was a crazy morning up in the dunes. I didn't know what to expect really, whether these bikes would actually sort of cope. On the Kajiba, that first dune was a big surprise because it went up, and all it was, what Zippy said was back in my mind. It's like a boat. You have to get it on the plane. You have to get momentum as your friend. You have to grow something between your legs and just go for it. There's no no time you can sort of throttle off and take it steady. You've just got to keep that throttle pinned and then just keep on top of the surface. And then it's wonderful sort of glide along the top of the dunes. Once that happened, it was absolutely magic. And it's just such a spectacular playground once you get the hang of it. It's better on smaller bikes, obviously, but it was just wonderful to take these bikes up here. And it makes you think how on earth these riders did 10, 15,000 kilometres back in the day. I remember the Africa Twin, that won Paris-Dakar 4 years on the trot, 86 to 89. The Kajiva has 2 wins, 1990, 1994. And then the Super Tenere Yamaha, 8 outright Paris-Dakar wins with Stefan Peter-Hansel. Eddie Orioli won it, I think, 86, but 96, sorry. Wonderful coming down here, great instruction. If you ever want to do this sort of thing, it's Desert Rose Racing you want to see. Zippy and Patsy Quick. They've done Paris-Dakar all the time. They've done, 3 times the real thing, but they train up people all the time and do events, etc. It's a wonderful lifetime experience coming out here. Hugely enjoyable. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming on very soon. Fantastic. Oh, and we have camels now. Never guessed we're in the Sahara.